Welcome to Herald Global, Armaan. So you're a classic case of so much in so little time. My question to you is, did you always know you wanted to become a playback singer?
Um, I never thought growing up that I wanted to become a playback singer. I knew that I wanted to be a singer. I mean, I didn't know what kind of a singer I would grow up to be.
Okay,
But I knew that singing is my passion, music is a big passion of mine. And, at one point I will take it up professionally. But I never thought that, I'll be a Bollywood playback singer or anything. It happened, by chance. But very early on, I had this dream that, yeah, I want to be a singer.
tell us about your journey. There are many fans who would like to know, how you started off with everything, your studies,
A
and
lot of my fans actually know the journey, but the interesting thing is that I started professionally singing at the age of 8. Not
okay,
many people are aware of that, so that's what
that,
I'm telling you.
that's
But at
really
the
nice.
age of 8, I started professionally singing. I got my first paycheck at the age of 8, and I was singing for ads and jingles and doing voiceovers and singing for children's movies.
Sure,
And at the age of 10 or 11, I participated in the show called Saregamapa Little Champs, which is a very well known reality
of
show
course,
in our
yes,
country.
yes, true.
And it was the first season of that, and I was in the top 10 of that show. So that was a very different experience for me because obviously I come from a musical family which has been part of the industry for quite a few
True,
years.
very true.
Starting from my grandfather, then my uncle, my dad, and now me and my brother. Uh, it was a very offbeat choice to go on a reality show. Not many people from a film family or musical family would go on a reality show and participate. I mean, they would go as celebrity guests later on whenever they become actors or musicians or
True.
whatever. But I decided to participate in that show, and I feel like that somehow uh, laid the groundwork for me as a singer in the growing years. So I felt like if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be a better singer.
Okay. So as a singer, how do you classify yourself?
As a musician, I think that I'm a very pop and R&B kind of a singer. That's
Sure,
the genre that I would classify me
sure.
under. Having said that, it does not stop me from singing semi-classical stuff. It doesn't stop me from singing EDM songs. So that way, I'm very versatile when it comes to molding myself into the different kinds of songs and blending myself into different
Sure.
genres. But as Armaan Malik, I think I'm a pop and R&B singer. And in Bollywood, I think I'm known to sing a lot of romantic songs.
Yes, I know. I love your songs.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes what happens is people slot you as well, like, oh, yeah, he can only sing romantic songs. But that's not the case with me. I can sing quite a few different genres of songs. It's just that I have been successful in doing romantic, songs.
So you have sang a lot of regional songs as well,
Yes, I have.
Bengali, Kannada. So
Telugu,
yeah,
Tamil, Malayalam, all of it.
how was your experience and how did you prepare yourself?
Like I told you, I professionally started singing at the age of 8. While I was doing that, I was learning to do voiceovers and singing in different languages. So when I was example, if I was going for a Complan ad, I'm doing the voiceover. You know that I'm a Complan boy, जो एक advertisement होता
Sure.
था बहुत पहले. So for that ad, when I was doing the Hindi version, they would also ask me, "Hey Arman, do you want to do and want to try like a Telugu voiceover of it?" I was like, "Okay, cool. I mean, I don't mind because as a child, you're like, okay, cool. I don't mind
Yeah,
trying. I
sure.
don't mind exploring." And that's when I started doing all these jingles and ads and voiceovers in different languages. And I got used to singing in different languages and voicing in different languages. So over the years, my skills in adapting and hearing a different language and then obviously writing it down in English and then reproducing it, that became strong. And when I was 18, 19, when I began my adult playback singing career in through Jai Ho, Salman Khan's
Yeah,
Jai Ho,
sure.
and then obviously the Bollywood career started. I got a lot of opportunities from the South Indian industry to sing in these different languages.
Okay.
So I think the training ground had started when I was 8, but it helped me and was of use of me when I was like around 19, 20.
So according to you, how are you different from other singers who are currently
I
there?
think you should tell me that from your perspective, because I personally would not like to differentiate and say that I am like this and other singers are like that, because doesn't I'm one of those artists who has blinkers. I tend not to see what other people are doing and what kind of stuff they do. I'm very focused on my own journey. So I can't really say that I'm different in these aspects. I know what I stand for as a singer, as an artist.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to like sing on a world platform, which you've already done, the
Uh,
international tours?
Actually, the thing is, everything happened very early for me, and it's not that it's wrong. I think it's great that it happened early. It gave me a lot of experience. But in the perspective of people, they're like, wow, you went for a world tour at the age of 20, 21. Not many people get to do that until they're like 30, 35, 40.
Yeah, you're the youngest.
And yeah, I was the first one to do a world tour. I was the first one to sing at the Wembley Arena in
Sure.
London. First youngest Indian. And for me, it was not that I wanted to do this, oh, I want to make a record of sorts and do this. It was just because my career gravitated towards that point. I got that many hit songs, and my songs became that popular at that
Sure.
point of time. And I don't think India had seen anyone young achieve so much so fast. Like, it was first of its kind for me itself, as well as the
No, no,
country.
it's very true.
So for a lot of young singers now, I'm so glad. Like, for me there was no reference point in India to follow. It's like, for me, it was only like, oh, Justin Bieber has done this in US, or Shawn Mendes has done. Shawn Mendes obviously is very recent, but Justin Bieber was one of the first few inspirations for all young children who wanted to do something in
True.
music. But I had no reference point in India. Like, I had no young person to look up to that, oh wow, he's doing something, so I want to do as well. So I feel happy and proud that I have become one of those young start points for a lot of other musicians who now look at my journey and be like, yeah, I want to do something similar. And for me, I had no case study in front of me, like, oh yeah, this person in India has achieved these things at a very young age. For me, it all happened firsthand. I was the first one to kind of do everything and learn everything and make mistakes, and also learn what it is to be in that situation.
So you're like a pioneer. So many people are going to follow that trend.
I mean,
Maybe.
I have this. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter or on Instagram, but I have this quotes that I keep writing of my own, and I'm known as Baba AM when I write these quotes.
Okay.
There's this quote called. I'll just narrate it for you. Aspire to be someone and inspire someone to be you. So this is something that I believe in. I believe that you should aspire to be someone who's huge, and then inspire people to become what you have become. So I think that I'm living that quote. Whatever I had written this probably like 4 5 years back. I didn't even know where my journey would take me, but it's been amazing how it's all come together.
How does it feel about your fan community, Armanians?
It's unreal. Actually, for me, a lot of the achievements, like winning, the awards and winning the accolades and getting X number of views and all that, that is obviously an exciting part of the journey. But the most exciting part is having these fans with you on this journey who are growing with me. A lot of my fans were the same age as me when I was starting out, and they passed out of 10th and 12th and went through the whole journey with me as like teenagers, as young adults. And it's amazing that they have grown and matured the same way that I have matured, and my music has grown with them. And it's not of a fan idol relationship. I don't know how to put it, but I'm very close to them. I remember some of them by their whole names. I remember most of them. I wish them happy birthday on Twitter all the time, and I follow almost all of them. So for me, it's a very close relationship. I think that it's like a team. It's like a family. And whenever any song comes out, they just shower so much love. They're just waiting for me to put out something, and they are just passionate about it. I think it's beautiful. That's my biggest victory, and that's my biggest award.
So according to you, is the industry welcoming to a newcomer?
I don't know if it's well. I mean, people are welcoming to very talented individuals, definitely. But I feel like you need to make people realize that, oh yeah, I am this and I can do this. They're not welcoming right at the start. You need to prove to them that, hey man, yeah, I am this person and I have this talent. So, open the doors of opportunity to me. I don't think they are, in the first instance, they will open the door to you. They want to see some kind of result or some kind of, charisma that's happening with you, and then they'll open the doors of opportunity.
Any suggestion that you have for the people who wants to be in this industry in future?
See, for all the young singers who follow me, who want to do this as a career, firstly, it's important that your parents are really behind you, because my parents were really supportive of my journey, and I know how Indian parents can be. They are very doctor, engineer focused. It's not easy to convince them that music and singing is a viable career. I mean, for me, I've come from a background where my dad is in the film industry and my mom's from the educational industry, and so she was very hell bent on me getting a proper education and even graduating properly. But I haven't done it, and she's still sad about it. But my career took off, and hence I had to put my education at a back burner. We in our country, we still don't have that system where on the go you can complete your graduation. I remember I was seeing this interview of Justin Bieber, and someone, I think he was, some interviewer asked him, have you completed your studies? And he said, yeah, but I had to do it on the road. Like, I was touring from city to city and had to give exams on the road. But we don't have that facility for artists in our country yet. So, I mean, I hope that something gets figured out by the government or the educational institutions that are there in this country. But yeah, it's important to get your parents in your corner. I think that's a very important aspect of things. If they are supportive, half the support is coming from the family. That is one thing. And secondly, social media is very huge today. Social media is actually one of the launchers for many people's careers. I'm seeing so many new singers who are doing a few songs online and they are blowing up, and people are calling them and giving them songs in Bollywood. So you don't need to necessarily go to the reality show route, or you need to, the world is open today. Social media is such a big platform.
True.
You are directly in front of an audience, a live audience who's just waiting to hear your songs. So I think it's important to grab the opportunity and be part of the social media community.
Okay. So my last question to you.
Yeah.
Who is your inspiration from the world of music?
Like I said, I didn't have any young Indian, that I could look up to in the music space. But I definitely count Justin Bieber as a huge inspiration, because he has inspired, I think, all youngsters and all teenagers to take up music as a career.
Sure.
So big salute to him, what he's done for himself and how he's inspired people. If you see his new documentary, you also see how he's gone through this whole phase where he was not knowing how to deal with his life, and he ended up doing drugs and stuff like that. And he's been very brave enough to share that with the world. So, like young achievers also, it's not easy. When you get a lot of success early on, it can go to your head and you can go crazy with it as well. So I think he's one of the biggest inspirations on the planet for anyone who's young. So definitely he's been one of my inspirations. But Sonu Nigam, as a singer, I think I've looked up to no other singer except Sonu Nigam. I think he's one of the pioneers of the
Very true.
singing industry, and singing and Sonu Nigam go in the same breath. For me, I think he's not one of the best, the best singer in India. I don't think there's any other better singer than him. So for me, he's my invisible guru, as I call him. Even though he's not taught me music, he's taught me a lot by just singing the songs that he has. And I kept listening to it.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. It was great knowing you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Lovely to speak to you.
See you.